We had Mario Pinto coming in for his debut at 9-0 versus Austen Lane. Not his
Yes,
debut.
not his debut. Pinto coming off the Contender Series.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I think it's the other slideshow, Rich. Yes, Pinto coming off of the Contender Series where he got a knockout, and in this one they keep talking about him. They're saying all the right things. First, he walks out to Jimi Hendrix, and I was like, sick. And then they're like, yeah, he likes. He's a big fan of Fedor, and I was like, oh, okay,
yeah,
he got my
yeah,
attention.
yeah.
But the whole first round is just Austin Lane kind of walking him down, peppering him with stuff. They keep talking about the patience of Pinto, the patience of Pinto. It's like, well, meanwhile, he is losing that first round,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
which patience is good,
He got
but
rocked. He got rocked a
yeah,
couple times.
he got dropped. Uh,
Yeah.
couldn't see what dropped him because the camera angle was directly behind them. Um, but yeah, Austin Lane cracked him, and I think in the corner they told Austin Lane, "Hey, when you went for it, you hurt him. You can get this guy out of here because." Disregard the first round. Mostly boring outside of that knockdown. Second round, banger. Sloppy banger,
Yeah.
heavyweight swinging and banging at the apex, small cage.
At the
What's
same
not to love?
time, Pinto's corner was like, dude, get after it. Open up. Let
Yes.
your hands go. You're waiting too much. You're getting caught. But yeah, they were frustrated.
Yes. And the second round starts and Austin Lane opens up and he's got Pinto on his back foot and he's just throwing punches like a juggernaut because he's huge and he's cracking him. And then it's like 45 seconds of them just swanging at each other. And you're like, this is sick. This is what I want out of heavyweights. And then
Yeah.
Austin Lane resets and he's like, okay, let me go back to what I know works. And he's like, I'll stick on the outside and start picking my shots. And you're like, no, dude, this is how you always get knocked out. You need to go, dude. And I mean that with no disrespect to Austin Lane, but
Yeah.
um, when he was moving forward, it was working. And then it seemed like a light bulb went off in his head in that exchange. And he was like, okay, yeah, don't get crazy. It's heavyweight. People hit hard. It's time to reset and make this a real fight, a methodical fight. And then no, dude. When you were going forward, it was working. And you could see the switch flip and him start going back to his little feint and popping the jab. And then Pinto's like, great, throw that lazy jab one more time, see what happens. And he cracks him with the left hook right overhand and just flatlines him. You're
He
just
was
like,
out. Head
damn.
bounces on the mat,
Yes.
right? And then
Great
that
job by
thing
the ref.
happened where you could see the top lip like
Fluttering.
yeah,
Yeah.
fluttering because of the awkward body breathing, the body trying to like survive.
Yes.
Uh and yeah, absolutely Mark Smith saved another year off this guy's life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at this shot. What a picture, dude.
I know with Mark Smith. Mark Smith literally got in the way of this.
No, look at his face.
Yeah, and he did it. He did it.
Stop.
Do not kill this man. But it knockouts like that and the Basharat one from last week, it always reminds me of that Chevello call where he's like, Bibiano is astral traveling. He's like on the ground, just like gone. It's like, man.
Such a good
Uh,
call.
yeah, but to Ghost's point, what do you think of cornering not being specific enough? It's always hard for me to say because I don't fucking fight or corner people. But we talked about it. There's the fine line between that corner knows their fighter and they know what they need to hear. But I don't know. It's tough to call from the outside. Like maybe they have a fighter that does get overwhelmed by too much detail, right? And you don't want to give
Yeah.
too much detail because they can't hear it. They're not going to hear it in the corner. They're just going to be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Some fighters you can do that with, right? So I think it's just
Yeah, and I always think back. There was this local fight that I went to, the regional scene, and one of Kevin Holland's striking coaches was coaching another guy, and I just heard him because yeah, your boy had front row seats. You know what I mean, Will?
oh.
Oh, and I just heard him ask the fighter. He goes, "What happened to the tires, man? What happened to the tires?"
Mm,
And the fighter like that's really like all he said. And he comes out and he's just starts kicking to the midsection
mhm.
and teep kicking, and he ended up winning the fight. So the next fight he came out because I mean a lot of them have the same trainers.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I heard you asking what happened to the tires, and he goes, yeah, the tires is the code word for what we had been working on, which is kicks to the midsection.
Damn.
And I was like, oh, right on, man. And so like ever since then, I'm like, I don't really know like what
You
led
don't, yeah,
up
you don't know.
to the corner work, and it could be a simple phrase that to us sounds very vague,
Mhm.
but to
Yeah,
them
that's
strings together an entire training camp.
yes. That's good. Yeah, that's a good
So
anecdote, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I never really make too much out of the cornering.
Yeah. Real quick, Rich, can we go back 2 pictures? The one of the impending doom, um, the one of him on the ground. Sorry,
Where it looks like he was crucified on the ground.
that
There it
one.
is.
Blunderbubs said, "Get down, Mr. President," as picture.
Dude.
So good, dude. Mark
And then
Schmidt to
also,
Secret Service.
shout out HBO Comer saying, Lane could have won a boring decision, but dude wanted to bang. And you know what? They let him bang.
They let him bang, but I think it was different. I think he dropped him in the first round, and he was winning the exchange in the second when he was going for the kill. And then when he went back to his cardio kickboxing decisionator style, that's when he got knocked out.
Decisionator? The
Yeah, dude.
Decisionator. Somebody should have that nickname. Who would have that
Yeah.
nickname?
Well, it used to be like GSP. That was like after they were like, he's no longer Rush. He should be decisionator. Um,
In this day and age, who would be Decisionator right now?
Sean Strickland, maybe.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good one. The
he's got to
Decisionator.
win
Yeah,
fights, so maybe not.
that is true. Or, yeah, the Decisionator just loses decisions. Actually, he
Yeah.
doesn't lose
Ooh,
decisions.
HMB
He usually
Comer
gets
says
stopped.
Bilal.
Oh,
Bilal be
that's
the
a really
decisionator. That's a
good
good one,
one.
dude.
Hey everybody, Ramiro and Will here. Thank you for watching that short clip. Just so you know, that was a small excerpt from what we covered this last Sunday, right, Will?
Yeah, we cover the entire event every weekend. So this was just a cutout from the live stream that we did. The link to that live stream is in the description. So if you want to hear about the other fights that night, it's down below in the description. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell because we go live every Sunday to cover events. And if you do that, you'll know for next week and you can tune in and be in the chat and get featured on the show just like everybody else was on this clip.
We hope to chat with you live.